Jerusalem Talmud Yomi, Tractate Shabbat. This is the daily reading of Talmud Yerushalmi, and we're in Tractate Shabbat, the first mission of the first halacha, part 6, and so we'll conclude the first halacha, the first chapter 1, the first halacha. We're at the words Shneim Peturim, Rabbi Yaakov Bar Acha, B'Shem Chizkiah. Neither is liable. Rabbi Jacob Bar Acha, in the name of Chizkiah, the rabbis in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. In the category of two people performing one work, Rav asked Rabbi, if another person put a bundle on his back when he forgot and brought it out. On the occasion of the second repetition, he told him he is liable because it does not compare to this. Rabbi is of the opinion that when he started to walk, it is as if he had taken up the object. In the opinion of Rabbi, he stood in the public domain and threw, but ran and caught it in a private domain. What? I guess what is the law? But is that not Rabbi? Since Rabbi made the airspace enclosed by walls like its essence, it is only necessary in a case he stood in the private domain and threw but ran and caught it in a public domain. What's the law? It was found stated that Rabbi declares him not liable until the moment it comes to rest. Rabbi Abun said, Rabbi Ben Azai, and Rabbi Akiva, all three, said the same. Rabbi made the airspace enclosed by walls like its essence. Ben Azai made the airspace enclosed by Carmelite like its essence. Rabbi Akiva made the airspace over public domain like its essence. There are 4 kinds of domain on the Sabbath: private domain, public domain, Carmelite, and dead-end streets. What is a private domain? A ditch 10 deep and 4 wide, or a wall 10 high and 4 wide. This is completely private domain. And what is a completely public domain? A street, a wide road, desert, and passages open at both ends. One does not export from a private to a public domain, nor import from a public to a private domain. If somebody exported or imported in error, he is liable for a purification sacrifice. Intentionally, he is liable for extirpation or is stoned, whether he exports or imports, or lifts or throws. An ocean or a valley or a platform or a threshold or a Carmelite are neither public nor private domain. One does not carry there, but if one carried, he is not liable. Rav Joseph said, in fact, we have stated all of these. The sea, as we have stated there, one who in the sea throws 4 cubits is not liable. Not only in the sea 4 cubits, but even if he throws the entire length of the sea, he is not liable. For the entire sea is called Carmelite. A valley, as we have stated, a valley during the dry season is private domain for the Sabbath, but public domain for impurity. During the rainy season, it is private domain for both of you. If you say private domain for both, it should not need surrounding by animals' gear, but we have stated if they surrounded it by animals' gear, one carries in the interior. A platform, as we have stated, and similarly, one carries under open bridges on the Sabbath, the words of Rabbi Judah. But the rabbis forbid. A threshold, as we have stated, if one carries out foodstuffs and puts them on the threshold, whether he or another person then carries it out, he is not liable since the work was not performed in one step. Therefore, if the work was completed in one step, he would be liable. But Ben Azai said, even if he completed the work at one time, he would not be liable. Carmelite, Rabbi Chia stated, Carmel, soft, full, neither moist nor dry, but average. And here, it is neither public nor private domain, but Carmelite. What is Carmelite? Rabbi Yasa in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, for example, the store of Bar Justinius. A multi-party courtyard, and dead-end streets. If there is an Eruv, they are permitted, but if no Eruv was made, they are forbidden. Rabbi Zeira, in the name of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Zeira in the name of Rav Hinina, in the name of Rabbi Hanina. Landings between pillars are judged as Carmelite. Rabbi Samuel Bar Chia Bar Judah in the name of Rabbi Hanina. The flowers of the pillars are considered Carmelite. There it is necessary that they be higher than 3 handbreadths. Chia the son of Rav, anything which hinders access in the public domain is considered Carmelite. The rabbis of Caesarea say, even thistles, even glass. This is necessary if they are not 3 handbreadths high. And Rabbi Yossi said, the threshold about which they spoke is 4 wide, but not 10 high. If you would say 10 high and 4 wide, it is a domain by itself. If you would say 10 high but not 4 wide, this is what Rav Chizda said in the name of Rav Asi. If a stick stuck in the public domain 10 handbreadths high, it is permitted both ways on condition that he not exchange. But we must deal with the case that it is neither 4 wide nor 10 high. A threshold in front of the door. Others say whenever the door is open, it is entirely inside. When it is locked, it is entirely outside. What are we dealing with? If it is roofed, even when it is locked, it is entirely inside. If it is not roofed, even when it is open, it is entirely outside. But we must deal with the case that it is partially roofed and partially not roofed. What does it mean when it is locked? It is entirely outside. It is permitted for use from it to the outside and from the outside to it. If there was a hole in the door, it is forbidden for use from it to the hole and from the hole to it. Right? Nathan says, when it is locked, it is entirely outside. When it is open, it is partially inside and partially outside. And that is what we wanted to say. A threshold of 4. When the door is locked, it is entirely outside. Also, when the door is open, it is partially inside and partially outside.